Hey, it's Mark here from Make Him Yours, and today we are talking about a fascinating topic. How do you tell the difference between your intuition and your insecurities? One is your most powerful senses as a woman, and the other does not serve you in your dating and relationships. I'm going to show you how to tell the difference next. Welcome to the video, and today we are talking about how do you tell your woman's intuition, that powerful sense that something is off, from your insecurities, which usually serve to have negative effects on your dating and relationships. I've got 5 ways to tell the difference between your intuition and your insecurities. The first one is that intuition is a feeling from your body, whereas you'll notice that insecurities are thoughts swimming around in your head. If you're unsure what you're feeling, see if you can examine where the thought is coming from. If it's a series of thoughts that are spinning around constantly in your head, it's more likely to be an insecurity at play. On the other hand, if it's a gut feeling where you just feel something is off right now and you can't quite put your finger on what, it's much more likely to be your intuition and you should trust it. Number 2, insecurities are past triggered while intuition is present triggered. Have a look at what you're feeling and where it's coming from. Does it feel familiar? Does it feel like there's a story behind it? Have you gone through something like this before? It's much more likely that insecurities are being triggered by a past event. So if there's been something off in your dating and relationships before and you've been burned by it, it's much more likely that your insecurities will kick in and it will be relating to that previous story. Intuition is much more of a present feeling. You won't be comparing it to a past experience. You'll be feeling in the now and you'll be very present and alert with what your body is telling you. Number 3, insecurity triggers questions about yourself, while intuition triggers questions about him. Have a look at what you're feeling. What's being triggered within your body? Are you questioning yourself? Am I good enough? Am I worthy enough to keep him? Is he going to leave me for her? These are typical thoughts behind insecurity, and they're always about questioning you and your own value. Intuition, on the other hand, doesn't question you. It questions him. It questions the situation around the two of you. It questions what's going on. I can remember a former partner of mine going away and staying in a tent with another man that I knew she was close to and was into her. But I realized, no, my partner's fully loyal. She's given me no reason to doubt her. This is purely an insecurity talking. Intuition, on the other hand, is when you feel that someone is being dodgy. In dating or in a relationship, you just get that sense, and there's no questions about yourself. There's no self-doubt. It's questions about him and what's going on in the situation. If you're noticing yourself questioning whether you're good enough, it's much more likely to be an insecurity. But on the other hand, if you're purely observing and questioning him, it's more likely to be your intuition telling you something is off. Which brings me to number 4. Insecurity triggers fight or flight responses. It triggers actions, while intuition triggers curiosity. Insecurity and intuition are very different in what they lead to. The insecurity leads to a flare-up. It leads to you wanting to do something to act quickly to relieve the anxiety. It's usually a flight or a fight response. You want to confront your boyfriend, you want to go through his phone, you want to call him all the time, you want to do something that doesn't help the situation. Intuition, on the other hand, doesn't promote action. It promotes curiosity. While insecurity tends to blind you and just makes you want to run or go after him, intuition just makes you more curious. Now, to add to that, can intuition trigger insecurity? Yes, it can, but you want to take the insecure layers off. You want to be able to split the past story away from what's happening in the present and only judge and act based on what is happening in the present. Your insecurities will not promote actions that are going to be healthy or that will help your dating and relationship in the long term. And finally, number 5, emotional intensity. Insecurities are much more emotionally intense, while intuition is a slow grumble. As I talked about in the last point, fight or flight is very often triggered by insecurities. They're big waves and they come in stressful, anxious patterns. Intuition, on the other hand, is a steady grumble. It grumbles along and makes you more curious about the situation. You feel, you're present, you're curious about what's going on and to learn more. Insecurity drives those big waves of action. The emotional peaks and troughs of insecurity leads us to doing things that, as I said, are very often not helpful to your dating and relationships. If you're finding yourself calling him 10 times, begging to go with him, looking into his phone without his permission, None of these actions are helpful to your dating and relationships, and they're triggered by insecurity. On the other hand, if you're finding yourself becoming more aware, you're finding yourself being observant, and then when the time is right, bringing up the conversations that have been concerning you, these actions are very helpful to your dating and relationships and will still get you the answer in the end as to what's going on. Emotional intensity can demonstrate the difference between insecurity and intuition. Watch for those high steady peaks versus that low constant grumble. Well, that's it. That's the video. Thank you for watching. And just one more thing before I go. If you're struggling to tell the difference between intuition and insecurity in your own life, one thing you want to make sure of is that you're dating very authentically. If you're not dating authentically, the lines between insecurity and intuition are going to blur. If you're holding back interest, if you're playing games with men, if you're not being genuine, then you're going to believe that's how dating is on a subconscious level and that that's how men are acting as well. It's going to put you a lot more in your head. You're going to have a lot more questions about men's actions, what they're doing, are you being played, and there's going to be a lot more self-doubt that comes in with the overthinking. You'll be in your head rather than in your body, and your insecurities are much more likely to take over from your intuition. Well, that's the full video. Thank you for watching. Let me know your thoughts, comments, questions, etc. Put them all below. Give the video a thumbs up and make sure you hit that big red subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts, as I said, and I will see you in the next video very soon.
It's like a dream when we both get together and feel